All the time, I always see these Geoguessr videos, usually of that rainbow guy.
This is probably North Saba. Nice, okay.
And I was always amazed by people that could pull this sort of stuff off. Like, how do you even guess where the location of something was based on Google Maps just dropping you in an area? And with most of these clips, just with like a singular picture. At first I thought maybe these guys were just keeping in their best guesses and editing out the rest, but there were actual tournaments for this sort of stuff, so it was not just like one dude who was really good at Geoguessr. There was like a community for this sort of thing. There had to be a method to the madness, and so I sought to overcome my American education and really learn some geography. Before I got too far though, I thought the best course of action would be to get a solid baseline for my geoguessing skills, as I think I remember learning in science that every good experiment needed some sort of base case or control group. So I ran over to the Geoguessr website and that's odd. It seems the once free browser game has now turned into a subscription-based service model to even play it. I looked around for just a single player option, thinking that maybe you just needed a sub for player versus player stuff, but nope. That's just the game now. What a world we live in, Jesus Christ. It's like everything is getting more expensive and simultaneously worse. I thought about just kind of quitting here, to be honest, and maybe making a new video. I just really hate subscription services, and no, this isn't a plug for Rocket Money or whatever that thing is. I'm not important enough to have sponsors, but genuinely, this shit is so fucking exhausting, and I know it'll push a ton of people away from ever being able to try this game for themselves. But annoying rant aside, I set a reminder on my phone to cancel this shit in a month and signed up for the $5 a month subscription for a Google Maps game. But back to the main part of the video. Once we got all signed up, I decided that for the challenge, experiment, whatever this is, I wanted to have an idea of how I was really going to do and how I was going to improve. First off, I wanted to test my world knowledge, so we'd be doing the basic single-player world map. For scoring this, the max you can get for guessing a location is 5,000 points, depending on the distance from the exact location, with 5 rounds per game of Geoguessr, meaning the maximum score you'd be able to get is 25,000, with my main goal being to at least marginally improve over the course of this video. Now, to accurately gather this info, I wanted to make sure I at least did a decent number of games, so I decided that for each set of games I'd play at least 10 games total, making it so that I was guessing around 50 locations per set or round or whatever you want to call it. And what separates each set, you might be asking? Well, since I was a new player, I thought that maybe it'd be good to learn one new skill for each set that I played. That way I could get some idea of what items helped me improve the most and maybe could help inspire other people and what they needed to focus on if they wanted to improve. That being said, not every set was going to be specifically testing only one of these criterias, and not every round would really feature the specific things I was studying, so this is more of a benchmark on the general direction I was heading as I was compounding more and more skills as I learned. I also decided, based on how I've seen other pros play, that I would not be allowing myself to move the car around when I was playing. I could look around, just no clicking around and moving. But unlike some of those freaks of nature out there who can get a location in like 3 seconds, I wasn't really concerning myself with timing. I just wanted to get good, but not be a pro. So with all that in mind, I ran my first 10 games of Geoguessr to get a good baseline for myself, so at the very least at the end of all of this, I could show some sort of improvement, hopefully. As you can imagine, this did not go particularly well, but not bad either, to be honest. Okay, this is the UK for sure. Close enough. Alright, that was really bad. Tractors, Midwest, for sure. We're gonna go Idaho, I think. Hedge our bets here. Oh, it's Australia. Okay, well, not right enough. Okay, we're getting worse. We're getting worse. Okay. Ireland. Oh, well, I need to double in. Huge. And that is our best game yet. Quite the turnaround, I'd say. It's like this, man. I have no idea where this could be. I'm gonna go like China. Nope. Ah, this is the worst one I think we've had yet. Okay. No, like here. Nope. So we got worse. Overall, I don't think I did too terrible, getting an average of 9,501 points across all 10 games, with my highest score being from Game 5 at 14,995, and with my lowest being Game 7 with a not too terrible score of 5,854. And now that I had proof of how stupid I really was, it was time to start learning. First, I thought an important component of learning Geoguessr was to learn like the geo part of the name there, so like geography. Now, although I'd learned geography in the past and had at one point I think been able to pinpoint where most countries were on a map, that was almost like 10 years ago, so I felt like I needed a refresher. So I set to work learning the map of the world. I was happy to learn that when it comes to learning the locations of countries, Cetera remains at the top. I still remember doing class-wide games of this in like my 7th grade homeroom. But as expected, I was not initially great at this, but I was determined to not be one of those types of people who was pulled during the Iraq War on where Iraq was and somehow landed in the middle of the fucking ocean. Now, after being able to do the continental tests where I identified each country in a continent, I went back for round 2 of Geoguessr. This is somewhere tropical for sure. I feel like this is probably like California. No? Okay. Ugh. That was bad. This is India. This has to be India. This is Laos? It is Laos, okay. Oh my god. I think that's the worst one we've had. Really doing great this time. That wasn't particularly good either. Alright, that's okay. I have no idea what this could be. I have no clue. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know where the hell this is, though. I think we honestly got worse. So yeah, turns out I did even worse. Considering I'm not really going for time with this sort of experiment, whatever you call it, I don't really feel like learning this was all that important. I just couldn't think of what to start with at the time, and I knew Cetera probably had something like this going on. But yeah, average score of 7,112, which is about 2,400 less than the first round. So, not great. I think game 2 and game 4 specifically dragged me down pretty badly, with game 2 being my lowest with a score of 1,343 across all 5 rounds of the game, which is, again, not very good. I did have a decent high score of 12,351, but this was also 2,000 less than my high score from the first set of matches. So, overall, I did really bad with this. I'd probably blame it more on my bad luck and some pretty consistently bad guesses throughout. But if you're looking to improve your speed, I'd focus on this, but I wouldn't say it was extremely important. That being said, in the future, I do think this definitely helped me study other areas a lot easier, as I knew which countries were nearby each other and could help to identify similarities only certain countries had. So I wouldn't say it was a complete waste of time. Now, after 20 whole games now under my belt, I wasn't sure where to go next, to be honest. There was so much that I didn't know, and I really didn't know of great resources for learning this sort of stuff. So I looked around online and eventually stumbled across a website called Geoguessr, which showed a breakdown of certain things you might see across a country on roads and signs. A very helpful website. I'll link it along with every other resource I ended up using down in the description, but after looking it over, I decided the next thing I'd try to learn would be different alphabets. So using Geoguessr's list of alphabets narrowed down to locations with coverage on Google Maps, I went to work. I thought the best thing for this would probably be to make some sort of flashcards, and Quizlet was always the thing I would use. And you wouldn't fucking guess it, they have a subscription model now too that doesn't let me put pictures in unless I'm a premium member. I was able to find a website that allowed me to have pictures on the flashcards for free called Noot. And so from then on, that's what I used instead. I spent a good amount of time studying this one pretty much every moment I could for the next day or so, and let me tell you, a lot of these alphabets are pretty hard to tell apart, especially when it comes to European countries that are all essentially made of the same characters with only a few differences between them. But after a while, I was able to recognize all of them, but I'm not sure how much of that was me learning the differences in these alphabets or just learning to recognize the pictures and layouts for each one. But I guess it was time to put that to the test. Okay, we got Russia. Unfortunately, Russia is giant. Oh my god, that was a bad score. All right, we got the silver, finally. That is probably one of our best performances to date. If not the, oh, new best score, it is, okay. Oh, I wish I knew what jersey this was. Let's go Qatar. Turkey? Okay, not too far off. This is Japan, for sure. I don't know who this leader is, but this is definitely Japanese characters. You know what? I wanted to say Japan, but I think I'm gonna go Taiwan. Fuck. I should have just gone Japan. What was I thinking? Got some signs here. Again, problem is, we looked at the languages, we didn't look at the words in the languages. But we have, this is, these are Japanese characters, for sure. Was South Korea? Oh! Was it? Right? I'm not sure, I can't remember. We're gonna go here. It's fucking Japan. Okay. I think I've gotten that wrong every single time. Another... Meat is murder. Okay, well this This is an English-speaking country. Oh, we have more characters here. Okay. This... Oh. This looks Korean. I think this is gonna be Korea. Fuck, I keep fucking it up. Bro is running. Whoa! Okay, well, we still got our new best score. So that's a big improvement, to be honest. Korea or Japan? We keep doing Korea, and then it's Japan, so we're gonna go Japan. It's fucking Sweden. This is Florida, maybe. I don't know. Yeah! I know Florida, that's for sure. Teletaxi, 24 hours. Mebel. Feeling Romania. Poland, okay. Still got some points at least. City of Dodge City, Parks and Rec. So this is Dodge City somewhere. Now I could just kind of scroll around and try to find Dodge City somewhere on this map here, which would be in America, but I think there's a multiple Dodge City. Okay. So yeah, overall, I felt pretty good about this one. My overall average went up to 10,587, and I felt a good bit more confident in my answers. As I kind of predicted going into this round, I definitely struggled a bit more with certain languages, actually seeing them in their natural environments. Like Cyrillic-based languages essentially all look the same outside of a few minor character differences or changes, and even if I identified it as Russian, with how big that fucking country is, it doesn't really do that much for me in terms of scoring points. Another big downside with this is that for Latin-based languages, they all essentially kind of looked very similar to me. So although I could recognize English, languages like Spanish, Portuguese, and even some Central European languages could be very hard to tell apart. Overall though, in hindsight, studying the alphabets personally felt like one of the most helpful advancements for me, even when it wouldn't always be useful. For the next area I studied, I was initially leaning towards studying license plates, but since so many of them had flags on them, I thought, well shit, I might as well learn the flags first. And so that's what I did. I went right back to Cetera and went on the flag grind, which was actually pretty easy for me since I had previously been studying flags a good 6 or 7 months back for a video I planned to do ranking every country's flags that I eventually decided not to make, but who knows, maybe I'll come back to that. And so, after I was able to finish identifying every flag on Cetera's quiz, we went to work playing another 10 games of Geoguessr. This is nothing of which I learned. Okay. This is Sri Lanka. I know this. I'm pretty confident in this. Okay, well. This is Texas? Dude, fuck me. Okay, not terrible. Can't tell what type of license plate that is. I don't know if it's worth studying the license plates now, because I'm seeing these, and they're all fucking blurred. And I understand why. But I don't know how I'm gonna read any of these. Fuck, man. The flags have not come into use at all here. This is mainly just reverting back to language shit. Here. No shot. This is fucking Toronto? Dude. Where the hell is this? This is Romania, because it has a little fucking... Okay. Cool. Cool. That's good. That's good. Pretty good. Oh, no. Well, I think this game is just done. There's no shot. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna guess this. Could be Bangladesh. Let's go Bangladesh. Why not? It's Thailand. That was not fucking Thai! At all! Oh, shit. Okay, this is Europe. It looks like. I'm trying to remember when I used to watch the Premier League, like what teams these would even be. I don't think this is Premier League, though. It's like Manchester United, maybe? This is like, we're just gonna throw in London just cause. Okay. Manchester. Oh, no shot! With this set of games, I definitely felt like I stagnated a bit, with my average score sitting at about the same as the previous set, actually falling a bit to 10,430, with my highest score being 14,962 with Game 5. And one thing I did quickly realize as I was working through these games is that pretty much every license plate was heavily blurred. So even if the license plate had a flag that I could use to help identify the country that we were in, I really couldn't see it. For this reason, I decided that maybe studying license plates wouldn't really be worth it if I couldn't see the actual license plates. And so I went to something else I was consistently seeing on roads, road signs. For this, I went back to Geoguessr and took their list of street signs from across 94 different countries and went to work making a new set of flashcards. And let me tell you, this shit sucked. I spent the next 2 days spending pretty much all of my free time squeezing in sets of these flashcards, essentially banging my head against a wall. The biggest issue I had was that for the street signs in a country within a continent, they would almost always look almost identical. Very few countries had signs that were uniquely identifiable to just them beyond just slight color changes. It was miserable, in all honesty, but eventually I was able to finish a quiz getting every single thing right. If I get one that I don't know, I'm gonna cry. I think I'm gonna pass out. I'm like, oh my god, dude. I've been doing this for so long. Oh my god. Thank god, dude. I'm so fucking tired. Oh my god. I've been doing this for like 10 hours. Now, as you can tell at the end of this, I was in a very good state mentally. So while this was still fresh on my mind, I immediately went to go run some more games of Geoguessr, and honestly, it was a really mixed bag. Looks like Devanagari. This is probably India. No street signs. Because, you know. Nice. There wasn't one of those signs on the quiz. Well, that was pretty good, guys. Oh, it's an orange one? Only a few places had that. That's like a bright orange. I don't think that's consistent with any of the ones I had. Someone probably recognizes this. Oh, wait, whoa. The flags. What is this? I'm digging in my mind. It's Denmark. This doesn't do anything for me. There's so many that look exactly like this, dude. I'm feeling Canada, but like this could be so many different places in Canada. So I'm gonna kind of aim for like Winnipeg area again. Finland. Yikes. I think that's the lowest score I've gotten. Other identifiable things. A lot of construction. There's a Bojangles. Oh, okay. This is like South Carolina. Obviously, dude, there's a Bojangles. Come on now. I started getting a pretty high score with 15,598, and then it was just kind of downhill from there, especially with game 7, where I got my lowest score yet of 613. Not even 1,000. I got every single guess horribly wrong. Just because of that alone, my average across all 10 games was only 9,472, which is a pretty big drop of 1,000 points from my previous averages. But if you remove this 613 game, it brings us up to an average score of 10,456, which is about more in line with my other previous scores, but still, this one did not feel great. Although I personally think that learning the signs was useful, the sheer volume and the amount of signs that exist out there, the inconsistencies and new signs that might pop up that aren't shown in the certain sites like Geoguessr, just all of that, it just makes it incredibly hard to really learn signs unless there's like one wholly unique sign to a country. A big problem that I felt like I ran into while playing these matches was that I'd find a road sign, and without being able to move, it really only narrowed things down to like a continent, because unless you were able to see every sign a country could use, it was really tough to pinpoint exactly what it was. And even then, if I had every sign in front of me on a map or whatever, there was just so many, it was really hard to remember which exact chevron was which exact color for a country. So I wouldn't say road signs aren't helpful to learn. In fact, I'd say the opposite. They're really great to narrow down a location, but I'd probably go about it in a different way than I did. Oh my god. Just learn the notable ones more than anything, recognize what signs appear in certain countries or continents, and then if you're more advanced at the game and are really looking to step up to the next level, I try to learn every sign across every country, but I just don't think I was really built to be handling all this information quite yet. So yeah, after the last one, I was feeling a bit tired, a bit disappointed, some might say, and so I went for something pretty easy to learn, driving signs. This thankfully only took a short amount of time, and honestly, despite how simple it was to learn, it was definitely pretty helpful. Alright, we're back into things. What side of the road are we driving on? I can't fucking tell. There's no lines. This is a one-way, so yet again, we don't really know. This is another fucking one-way. No shot, dude. We're on a highway, so the side of the road, again, doesn't matter. Oh, we're driving on the left side of the road here, it looks like. Based on the trees that we have here, this does make me think Africa. Botswana. We could go like South Africa. I feel like it's not a bad. Hey, there we go. No, dude. Come on. Come on, dude. You can't put me out in the middle of the fucking ocean. If we go there. I'm gonna go Hungary again, just because it seems kind of similar. It's Poland, but you know, not too bad. Ooh, new high score. This is one of these. Yeah, okay, this is Luxembourg, okay. Oh, minion! Oh, the minions! Now, my scores here didn't drastically improve or anything, but I was able to at least get a new high score of 16,214. Across all games, though, I still only scored an average of 10,282, so still lower than my round 3 and 4 averages, but I was feeling at least a little bit better about my guesses. With only a decent handful of countries that drive on the left side of the road, if you could see that you were driving on the left side, you were pretty much set. Otherwise, it really wasn't helpful other than that, but super easy to learn and I think pretty useful when it does come up. At this point of things, I really wasn't too sure what to study next. I looked around on Geoguessr, and the board seemed to be another sign situation, just way too many that looked similar and probably just too much information, so I instead went for internet domains since I had noticed a few websites on some signs and felt like this might be at least a little bit helpful. Studying the domains was relatively straightforward since most of them at the very least included the first letter of whatever country it was, but there was definitely some that were a little tricky, like Croatia being HR or Switzerland being CH. Things like that really threw me off, but there wasn't too many of those cases at least. Man, there's no website domains here. That's wild. Looks like they're driving on the left side of the road, which is pretty... we'll go kind of near here. Oh, it's Kenya. Fuck me. I don't know, I'm feeling Eastern Europe on this one. Could easily be wrong, but... it's fucking... This is Japan? Ugh, that wasn't good. Got like a motel looking sort of thing here. Baby in car? Okay, this is... Yeah, I've gotten enough. This is the UK. Oh, Netherlands, close enough. Maybe a bit further south. This could be like Orange County, near like Irvine type shit. Yeah, San Diego, okay. 720. Anyone know the 720 area code, please? That'd be great for me. That being said, what language is this? Is a good question. I'm not positive. We're gonna go... No shot, it's fucking Quebec! I picked France because I'm like, oh, this is French, but no, it's fucking Quebec, bro. Give me a website domain, please, please. Please, give me a fucking domain or some shit. That UK? Well... There we go. We found our first motherfucking thing. I don't know where Newcastle is. Oh, it says Whitehaven right there. Okay, fair enough. Based on how things are laid out here. Oh shit, this guy's fucking up. This guy, they're beefing, I think. Maybe. Hope they're okay. What the fuck is this? Why is there a line that's like all zigzag and shit? Maybe it's just the camera fucking it up. I'm not really positive. I mean, so many places look like this. I can't really identify this. I'm gonna go near Pennsylvania, kind of fucking opposite coast. Fuck me. Okay. Oh. Well, this is Japanese. Where at though? I don't know. This is a pretty cool museum though. It's pretty sick looking. It was Nagoya, but that's okay. Oh, these roundabout signs are specific only to a few countries. We're going Spain. I know it's probably not right, but oh, it's Portugal. That's pretty good. Hey, new best score. Hey, I can't complain. Project 12. Let me see a website domain here. Let me see a domain here. I mean, this is obviously India, though. Pretty much everything about this screams India, to the Devanagari, to the architecture. Yeah, this is definitely India. I don't know where at. India's pretty large. We'll probably just go near New Delhi, though, just to be safe. Yeah, okay. It was New Delhi, so. All right, that's not horrible. Now, after running the standard 10 games though, it looks like we were still stuck at the status quo, getting an average of 10,591. And although we did get a new high score of 16,366, it still wasn't enough to boost up our average score too high. When it came to studying this though, I'll be honest, I really didn't run in any website links, so although I think it could be useful, I really didn't feel like it was a good use of my time. At this point, I was getting a little bit frustrated. I really didn't feel like I was getting all that much better. I needed to do something different. And to be honest, I was getting tired of looking at Notecards, so I opened up Google Maps, set a timer for 3 hours, and just sort of explored around. I took in the environment, tried to identify some common features of an area, and also looked up a few questions I had online when it came to identifying different countries. One of the most notable being, how do you identify the different countries in South America? For me, they all seemed pretty similar, so they were pretty hard to tell apart, at least from an outside perspective. And it would be here that I would learn something very important. Colombia has yellow license plates. So I put the little person down in Google Maps down in Colombia, and sure enough, yellow license plates. I kept exploring around certain parts of the globe, and turns out the UK also has only yellow license plates, except unlike Colombia, the UK drives on the left side of the road. And it was there that it began to dawn on me how stupid I was to ignore license plates just because they were blurred. I was assuming that a lot of countries would be like the US, where each state or province or whatever you call it there would have their own license plates, but some places in the world not only had distinct license plates that could be identified through the blur, like Colombia and the UK, but they only really had one plate throughout the country. So obviously, I knew I needed to study license plates next, but for now, I spent my time traveling the world on a virtual vacation, no passport required, just a ton of clicking and a lot of wasting time. Now, when the 3 hours was eventually up, that was of course after having to restart the timer because I fell asleep for 2 hours, I hopped on to play some more Geoguessr, with a new understanding of what each place looked like, and to be fair, it could be coincidence, but it was my highest average yet. Every Saturday? Gorilla? No way, dude. Gorilla on Saturday? Amation du Whiskey South. Okay, this is France. We're gonna go major city. We'll go near Paris. Yay, there we go. I mean, initially what's jumping out to me is Brazil. I'm trying to see if I recognize any Portuguese here. I did a little bit of research into trying to tell the difference between Spanish and Portuguese. It's still really hard to tell. There's a few distinctions though that are pretty, you can pick up on. Yeah, I'm thinking this is probably either like Venezuela or Brazil. It's Ecuador. Oh my fucking god, bro. Yellow license plates. In like this sort of area. Is this Hebrew? I think it is. Well, that kind of narrows that down. Nice. We'll go to Italy. I don't fucking know, man. It is! I was gonna go Bolivia for a second. I was like, I don't know about this one. I mean, I'll go Canada. I really don't know where, though. Go here. It is fucking Canada, but it's fucking St. John's, bro. Okay. It is Pennsylvania. I was gonna say Pennsylvania, but I wasn't confident enough to do that, to be honest. BE is Belgium. Well, that settles that. We go near Brussels, yeah. Cool. But see, the internet domains did come in handy, a little bit. That just looks like a lake. We'll probably go like Indonesia, Philippines. Yeah, we can go Philippines. Dude, it's fucking... Where is this? Where is this? Baja... what do you even call this? What is this a part of? What is going on with Kermit here, man? What is happening? Aru. I'm gonna go kind of here. Fuck, it's Mexico, man. Damn it. Oh no. Oh, this could be so many places. It's either like up here or down here, and I don't know which. I'm gonna lean probably more up here. Oh my god, it's fucking Turkey, bro. Why does Turkey look like that? It's probably somewhere near the ocean. That being said, where at? Oh, this is New Zealand. Okay, well that makes it easy. This is Auckland. Or Oklahoma. Okay, this is Japan. Where at? Don't know. Don't know. I'm gonna go a bit more north, but not completely. Hey, okay. This is Takaoka. Toyama? Or Toyama, I think is probably what you'd call that. Cool. Not bad, not bad. We had jumped up almost 1,000 points for the average from our previously highest round 7, to 11,571. I mean, part of the reason this happened was that I didn't score horribly enough on any of the games to drag the score down too much, but overall, I felt pretty damn good about how things were going. Now, obviously, the next step was to learn license plates after my yellow British Columbian discovery, and so I made some flashcards and went to work. Now, some of the license plates were really easy, particularly because they had the country's flag on them, or in some cases, the country's abbreviation, which was also the same as the internet domain abbreviation in some cases. So, not a complete waste of time doing that, but obviously with the license plates blurred, this really wouldn't help me, so I mainly focused on the colors and layouts of these different plates. Now, if I was a bit less lazy, I could have blurred all the pictures on the plates to study them a bit more accurately to know how I would see them, but I didn't. So, after grinding those flashcards and getting all of them right in a quiz, which it wasn't too difficult, you know the drill, we went to play some more Geoguessr games, and damn, I was feeling pretty good. Well, what sort of giveaways do we have here? This seems European. Could be Russia. Oh no, I have no idea. Oh, it is Russia, but very hard to tell the different parts of Russia apart, for me personally. I think that's a common issue, but what kind of license plate do we got? Jesus Christ, it's blurred to all hell. I remember Peru and Ecuador as being something like that, so I'll go. Hey, okay. Oh, this is Curaçao. I don't know if we've ever gotten one on Curaçao before. This is Italy, I think. Does this look like Italy? Ceremony? Yeah. Yes, it's Italy. No, probably near Florence, maybe. Hey, we got it. Okay, license plates, worth studying. I think just for that alone, I've gotten a few just because of this. So it don't look like California license plates. Ah, damn, bro. This could be this could be Mexico. I don't think it's Guatemala, but it could be Ecuador, Peru. We'll go Mexico though. It's Perth. Alta. This is Mexico. I'm actually fairly confident this is Mexico. Or Puerto Rico. Okay, I guess I forgot to hit record. Let's redo that. I feel like going Germany is probably not a bad bet here. It's Ireland? Dude. Okay. Not great. Personally, I think we're driving on the right side here. That being said, there's a lot of different options this could be. Like this is... Oh, we're on the left. We are on the left. So this could be here or here. Like this could be Thailand. I'm gonna go with it. It's India. Jesus Christ. I'm not that far from it. I get not even 1,000 points. Come on now. A blue license plate with white text in America for sure. Now, I have no idea what state that is because I mean this is a completely different license plate already. So, it's fucking Montana. Yellow license plates. Could be a lot of places in the world, to be honest. Could be the UK, for sure. Okay. Rolling hills like this. And we're driving on the left side of the road. Yeah, it's probably the UK. Or Ireland, maybe. It is the UK. I can't read any of these signs. When in doubt, Germany. Fucking Russia. Okay. Yeah, this looks like America. That being said, this is so homogenized with pretty much any fucking state that I can't really tell exactly where it is. But we're gonna go like Illinois. Oh, pretty close by in Kentucky. Okay. Batir imo grandes portes stories, Latin language, Latin root. Oh, Luxembourg. I think this is Luxembourg. Let's go. Wait. Oh, Belgium. That's what I meant. Fuck. It's France. But hey, that was our best score so far. 18K. Pretty insane. That might be the best we ever get. We'll do a little bit more though. Although some of my early games were a bit rougher, my final game, Game 10, would earn me my highest score yet of 18,316. Now my average still ended up being 10,897, which is around 500 less than the last round, but I was just amazed I was able to get a score that was that high. So yeah, after learning that, I'll be honest, the license plates were incredibly helpful. They definitely weren't anything foolproof by any means. They really just helped me identify I was in Europe most of the time, since all of them essentially looked identical with the blur, but every now and then you'd see that yellow and you knew you were in the UK, which definitely saved me a good few points. So now it was time for round 10, and unfortunately with my Geoguessr subscription deadline fast approaching, I decided to call it quits after just one more set, the final round. Similar to the 8th round, I felt like honestly what had helped me most was just exploring the world on Google Maps. Unlike last time though, I decided to do something I had never done before on previous rounds, to play more Geoguessr. And so I went to Geoguessr's different single player options and continent by continent went through what I could, looking up questions when I thought of something, which eventually led me to a new website called GeoTips. And although it was pretty similar to GeoMaster, it did feature some helpful tips for a lot of countries when it came to distinguishing certain features of a country, such as plants to look for, super unique features, architecture styles, overall climate breakdowns of certain regions, and even the apparently well-known Brazilian red soil. I was flipping back and forth between this website and my Geoguessr games, and after a good few hours of studying, this time without falling asleep, I was finally ready. And so I booted up Geoguessr for the final time. Game 1, 14,443. Really solid start. Game 2, 15,074. Even better. Game 3, 14,831. So still staying pretty strong. Game 4, 6,817. It faltered a little bit there, but still doing okay. Game 5, 7,427, which is not really great either. Game 6, 10,763. Solid. Game 7, 14,320. Another really good score. Game 8, 15,302. An even better score. Game 9, 11,553. Pretty good. And Game 10, finally a score of 8,900. That was it. We were done. And when it was all finished, what was our final average? 11,943. Our highest average yet. And now comparing my first round of games to my last, I seem to have improved on an average of 2,442. So I guess I must have done something right. Maybe, I didn't improve all that much, but it still was something, So, that's kind of cool, I guess. And now that I was done, I could finally end that stupid fucking subscription before I forgot. Mission accomplished. So yeah, I guess I'll talk a bit about my closing thoughts about how everything went, and I guess my advice on what I would do if you're trying to become a Geoguessr pro like yours truly. Best resources I had were easily GeoMaster and GeoTips, insanely good websites to have when you're just trying to find some stuff to study and focus on. GeoTips especially, holy, super good for learning the differences between countries. For things I would focus on personally, alphabets felt pretty important. I definitely tried to be able to identify different languages if I could, especially if I had more time. Driving sides is also super easy and could be pretty helpful. But when it comes to everything else, I don't know. I think you could take or leave some of it. And honestly, if I had more time to work on this, I'd probably had studied some other things that might have been a lot better than the other stuff I studied. Like, bollards could have been pretty useful. I honestly didn't even know what these were, to be honest, but they seem to pop up pretty often. Learning gas stations, I think, could have also been super helpful. But honestly, I think just getting some reps in on the game, whether it's the world map or country focused, is definitely the most fun way to improve. Because as much as learning road signs and recognizing languages can be helpful, sometimes they just stick you out in the middle of nowhere and you just have to try to rationalize where you might be. And until you see enough locations, either through Google Maps or just by playing, it can be really hard to tell. Overall though, besides those signs, I had a pretty good time doing this. It was definitely fun to learn some new things about the world. If anyone has some suggestions for free alternatives to Geoguessr, please let everyone know down below. Or if you have suggestions for similar things like Geoguessr for different topics, please let me know. I really like this sort of stuff, and it gives me a good excuse to obsess about a new topic for a bit. Anyways, yeah, it's a video, I guess. I'll make sure to link my resources I used as well as my flashcards down in the description if anyone wants to use those. Thanks to everyone for watching. But of course, a special thanks to my patrons, Mads, Dave the Unknown, Griff, Einhar Anderson, Turmeric, Maddie Grady, Zarl Dunking, Kenny, Daddy Yam, Bup1, Olafur, Consissum, and our newest member who I definitely don't already know, Dippy Jib. Thank you all so much. It really does mean a lot. And of course, thanks to everyone else for watching. Sorry for the delay. I spent a good amount of time on this one, but hopefully, if you're still here, you at least thought it was maybe kind of worth it. I don't know. Anyways, thank you again, and until next time, take care.